guys, and welcome to my review of Toy Story 3, which just came out this Friday, June 18th, in the US. Overall, I thought the film had a very charming appeal to it, which sounds a little cheesy coming from me, but overall, it's a very good thing to have in a film. Um, Now, the one thing I liked about this film was that it didn't show any signs of selling out, I guess. It didn't show that Pixar just wanted to make some money and just tossed the film out there. They actually cared about the characters and the storyline because they knew that a lot of previous generations had seen the previous movies and they cared a lot about the characters that were in these films. I like that a lot about this film. Overall, I would say it was better than the first and as good as the second one. And I like the second one a lot more than the first. So that's a very good thing for me. First thing I want to talk about is the characters. Now, you still have Woody and Buzz and all his main characters, and Woody still makes a very likable protagonist, or main protagonist. He's just very. He's got a lot of leadership qualities, which is very hard to find in the main character in these movies. And you know that they put a lot of thought into this character. They really want to make him stand out among the crowd, as they have done in all the other movies. Uh, Now, Buzz was a major badass in this movie. Even though he was a major badass in the other ones, it's just over the top in this one. He does all these crazy stunts, aerodynamics, acrobatics, you name it. And it comes across as very likable. You can't wait till he does the next stunt, you know? And they did a lot with him in this movie, and I liked it. The scenes in which he reverts to his old Spanish mode were just hilarious. I could not stop laughing at all. And aside from those two characters, you have the main characters from the other movies, such as Ham and Mr. Potato Head. And a lot of the other characters from the first and second movie were actually written out in this movie, either as being thrown away or sold in yard sales. Because many of the characters, such as Wheezy, who was voiced by Joe Ranft, actually passed away after the second movie, so they couldn't really find a replacement actor for him. So they just basically wrote Wheezy and Lenny out of the script. And as for the role of Slinky, which was played by Jim Varney in the first and second movie, he actually passed away in 2000 from lung cancer. So his good friend Blake Clark actually took over him, and he does an uncanny impression, because mainly they have the same kind of voice. But I thought it was a very good call. And many of the other characters are very likable. And the main villain of this film is Lotsa Huggenbear, and the prison ward. Well, not really prison ward. The daycare center he runs more like a prison ward, and I'll get more into that later on. So, as for the characters, I thought they were very well thought out, and a lot of them were very likable. So, I give them a very good score for this movie. Now, next I want to talk about the story. The story is where I feel this film really shines in its nostalgia factor, because there's a lot of montages of the previous films, such as the opening scene, which I won't really ruin for you right now, even though I kind of did. It brings back a lot of memories for the kids that had seen the first and the second movie when they first came out. And the main storyline of this movie is that Andy is now grown up. He's about 17 years old, going to college. And he wants to bring Woody with him to college, but he wants to leave all the other toys in the attic. However, they all end up in the toy box to go to the daycare center. And when they go to the daycare center, they meet Lotsa Huggenbear, who says that it's actually a very nice place to be, where you don't have to worry about being attached to one particular owner. As the new kids come in, the old kids come out. So basically, you're being played with as a toy by many other kids, but you never really become attached to them. So the first night they're actually there, they are basically attacked by these kids who actually think they're playing with the toys. And eventually from there it unfolds that Lotsa Huggenbear, he has very many problems, which I won't ruin. I'll let you see for yourself in the movie. So he basically runs the daycare center like a prison ward, and he refuses that the toys leave. So it's up to Woody and everyone else to kind of just break him out of there. And the climax was actually very entertaining. I won't ruin it though. Overall, I give the story a very high score for this movie too. Ultimately, I thought the film was very well thought out and definitely worth the 11-year wait after I had seen the second one in the theaters. I did want to kind of make this review a little short. This way, you can experience the film for yourself when you see it in the theaters. You can either see it in 2D, 3D, or IMAX 3D. I saw it in 2D, but I might see it again in the IMAX 3D because I really liked it a lot. And I almost actually came to tears at the end because it's just the nostalgia really just kicks in this movie. It makes you think about the previous films and everything like that. So overall, I would give this film a score of a 9 out of 10 because not everything was perfect. There were a few things that could have been fixed. Um, so, so really, I would recommend this movie to anyone that has ever seen the previous Toy Story films or who's actually getting into the franchise, such as maybe little kids right now. So I would highly recommend you see this movie. Thanks for watching the review and hope you see it and enjoy it. Bye.